Hello, it's Semester. I'll pick up truck plus SUV talk. My passion is trucks and SUVs. Welcome to a live stream. We do live streams every Monday night, but I'm in town, or Sunday night, depending on my travel schedule. I travel a fair amount. And I usually pour a glass of whiskey, which I have next to me, and pour a glass and have a drink, and we talk about trucks and things. And so I decided to pick on the Tesla rendering, which I'm sure was a great rendering, but it caused me a lot of concerns looking at that. I have a little bit of a different setup tonight. I have some lights set up. I'm advancing the channel here, so hold with me. I got lights set up, and I tried to do some OBS software stuff. I'm still working on that. There's a full 10-second delay. I didn't care for that very much, but maybe you guys have a 10-second delay already, and I don't know this. I don't know. What do you mean it looks like garbage? I'm trying to make it better. Why is this so dark here when I do these at night? Oh, you're talking about the Tesla truck. Hopefully you're talking Tesla truck. I have new lights, and I have, I really don't need this. I'm talking to myself. This is kind of ridiculous. But I have my speaker hooked up. Like I said, I had this whole OBS software thing set up. It was cool. It had like live chat on it and had like photos and stuff. I was going to show you the Tesla photos too. And yeah, 10-second delay. So I don't know. I didn't make that work. But maybe, hey, Jimmy, maybe that's something we do in the future. Hey, Gene, maybe we do the OBS, and maybe the 10-second delay is just part of the gig. I didn't quite figure that one out, but it felt funky to me because I would like wave, and then I'd count to 10. I'd see the wave on the screen. So, and I had not, it's empty. I hadn't poured anything on glass yet, so I was confused by how that's up. Yeah, I know. I'm working on this. I'm advancing the channel, and I have a new intro video I just wrapped up that I think I'll put on the Facebook page here after this live chat. That is pretty cool. I cut the intro video down from like 40 seconds down to like 15. Paid a guy a bunch of money. It's done. I think that's pretty cool. I got some cool topics coming. I have, I threw it away, but I have my notes. Most dependable pickup last 15 years. I did a bunch of stuff on that. So really cool stuff coming. I just got done with the Ford Flex. Yeah, Ford Flex today. That review's coming. Chevy Equinox review's coming. What's I got? Lots of cool stuff. But anyways, Tesla truck. I'm sure people are like talking about Tesla trucks a lot. It's got a frunk, which is a front trunk. It's just strange to me. I'm not a fan of that idea. The renderer said that in his quote, he said, quote, I'm sorry, that it would be a great place to sit and hang out. Like you would tailgate in the back, but you could tailgate in the front too. Why? I don't understand it. I just think it looks terrible. It's got beady eyes, and I'm like, I don't know. It's fine. Build a truck, build whatever you want to do, but make it interesting. Why do EV trucks always look weird too? Like Rivian's got the same deal. Like, why is it gotta look weird? Why can't we just have like a, like I said, F-150 electric powertrain? Done. Don't make it so random. All right, there we go. Off my thing. And they don't make any sense to me either. I do want to point out before I get to Brandon's questions, I saw Brandon's questions. Welcome if you've never been on this live stream before, or if you've, gosh, if you're new to the channel blew up this weekend. We probably brought in 350 to 400 new subscribers. 35,000 was the last time I checked, was my last 48 hours of views. We had something like 24,000 views yesterday or Saturday. It's phenomenal right now. Like every time I check the channel, on my phone, my app or online, it's blowing up. The what happened, and I'll give you a little backstory here, is that I had done my Tahara. I say it differently each time. I'd done my Tahara, I think that's how I say it, Japan assembly plant tour, and that video wasn't doing that well. And so I've been doing a lot of research on the back end of YouTube, like a bunch of videos in the back end. And so I was able to go into my analytics and I could drill down to where people had seen the video at. There was this one Forerunner forum, a small one, that had shared it and started getting views. And I was like, well, ding, why don't I put it on a bigger Forerunner forum? And so I went to a Tacoma World and I went through a Forerunner forum off there and I shared the video. And all of a sudden, like, I think I shared it like on Wednesday. It had like 2,000 views. And by Saturday, I had 24,000 views. And now it's at 33,000 views, something like that. And so I did the same thing. So in my mind, as a journalist, I've been playing with this video idea for a while on Toyota Tacoma reliability. You've probably seen this. People are blowing up with this videos too. And I thought, well, hey, I got a bunch of Toyota guys who are watching the Tahara video. I should put the video on reliability. And I had done the story like a month before on pickuptrucktalk.com. I typed it all up and I decided to do a video. So I put the video on there, put it on Tacoma World, and then so being the business guy I am, I have the most dependable pickup video coming that I'm hoping that's going to blow up too. And I'm going to eventually get around to do my GMC, my General Motors assembly plant tour video from Flint Assembly. So, because I mean, that's what you guys are wanting. So I'm all about it. Let's keep putting those videos out. But yeah, that was crazy. We had a blizzard. Quite literally, we had a blizzard. I mean, it was a blizzard for a day here. I'm on the western part of Nebraska, eastern parts of flooding, but we had a blizzard. And I'm sitting in the house. I can't go anywhere, and I'm updating my phone and my app, and I was like, more subs, more views, more. I'm like, holy crap, what's going on here? So it had a bunch of stuff going on. So it was pretty crazy. That was a pretty cool. There's nothing better as a channel creator to create, and a journalist and a writer and all that stuff, to create content that people actually want to read and people get something out of. And then what I've learned with YouTube, there's nothing better than putting a video out and having it just explode. Like you put a video out and it just explodes, man. It's cool. It's just fun to watch. I'm gonna see if I can't move that a little bit. I'm getting too hot over here, too much hot light. But it's just cool to see that, just because it's addictive. You want to keep checking the stats and keep checking the stats because things just keep blowing up, and it's really cool to see that. So yeah, I was really happy with that. It's funny. Facebook memory today, I had 500 subs this day last year, and I just passed 4,000 today. That's pretty good. I don't know. I think it's cool. All right. So Brandon's already hammering questions. Based off first impressions, what is your pick for 2020 Truck of the Year? I'm going to say Ram 3500 with 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. Cool topics. That's good. Yeah, people are loving. What's fun is people are going back and watching my old videos. I've had some videos on here that I think are really cool that I haven't really done a whole lot. And people are going back and they're finding those and they're doing more with those videos. So it seems like when people find the channel, like, because it's hard to find, there's so many YouTube channels out there. But once people find Pickup Truck SUV Talk, that they're able to go back and watch these older videos and really see some stuff. And so I think it's really cool. I'm happy to see that people are enjoying the content. This live stream is video 301. And so there's a lot of content, I think, out there. I don't know how many hours of video that is, but I mean, like if you were to binge watch it all, but 300 videos, that's 301 videos. That's quite a bit. Why do all VVs have to look so strange? I don't know. I don't understand that. Hang out in the front for a non-existent drive. I don't understand that one. I'm completely lost in that. Oh no, Brandon! You get to watch the video. The video is really cool. It's going to be really cool because I'm not giving it away. I did some digging. I looked through some archives, put together a whole thing. I got a whole thing lined up for this video. It's gonna be really cool. It's gonna get a lot of hate mail too. Wow, thanks. Hey, Bees Landscaping, thank you for being on the channel. I saw you over on Mark's channel, and really cool. It came over and checked this out. I'm happy. Thanks, Jimmy. Brandon said, "Oh, Brandon. So, Brandon, you went to that show. You went to the San Francisco show or the Silicon Valley show." I'm still messed up by this 10-second delay. Am I reading this stuff 10 seconds later? So why don't you guys comment? Somebody comment something and count, and I'm gonna read the comment as soon as I see it. Somebody comment something, because I want to see if this is true. People tell me there's a 10. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess you're counting. That didn't really work. I saw your comment. So all right, do it again, and I will say comment. Okay, I saw it. So did I see it the same time you commented, or was it? It was 5 seconds. It was 5 seconds. This is fascinating stuff. I never knew there was a delay on live streams on YouTube. I know there's a delay in live sports, right? At live TV because of people saying something, they can kill the broadcast right away or something like that. But yeah, I didn't think that was yeah. So I guess I could have done the OBS. It would have been 10-second delay and gone from there. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a testing on this. I'm gonna get my friend Aaron Turpin, the fellow journalist, and him and I are gonna do a private or unlisted live stream or something like that, and get away from that. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, interesting. All right. So, anyways, you went to Silicon Valley stuff. You say some bad stuff. Yeah. 2020 Ram HD to be a little disappointing. It's needed a new 1500 cab. I don't know. I think the cab's fine. The interior is the same interior. You're being picky. You think the Tesla truck is yes, yes, yes. What was it? Was it a crew cab or was it? I didn't even look at that. I didn't even, it was disgusting. Here's my thing. What I've decided with EV trucks. EV trucks are designed by non-truck guys. Because no truck guy is going to look at the EV truck front or the Atlas truck front or the Rivian truck front a little bit and say that's a good-looking truck. That's my theory. Hey, Sean. No, Sean, we're doing this debate tonight. So we've discovered that YouTube has at least a 5-second delay. So I was doing OBS thing. I have this really cool thing. So I have live chat on the screen. I have my logo. I have me in a box. I kind of designed it. I'll work on this. Next time I go live, I'm going to put this up. And you guys are going to love it. And I have new lights. That's why my face is all lit up. And the background's all kind of dark. And so I have new lights. And I'm trying to work on my lighting. Trying to get the channel better. But yeah, we're working on that. It's kind of interesting stuff. It's behind the scenes stuff. But yeah. Lost count. I have this last of this bottle. My wife bought this. It is I brought the bottle because it's a Spyburn single malt Scotch whiskey, aged 10 years. I think it's pretty good stuff. It's definitely a sipping whiskey though. You can't drink too much of that. It's 40 proof. Yeah. Well, I think I'm being 40 proof. All right. Attack of the Muffins. Oh. When does Hoover make a pickup since Tesla's doing it? I don't know. This is this EV stuff is just crazy. Yes. No, Spyburn. Yeah. You're right. Spyburn Spyside. I had to Google it. It's a Spyside malt. Matured for 10 years in American oak, ex-bourbon, and ex-sherry casks. This award-winning single malt was born as Spyside's natural elements embodying the rich freshness of the region in Scotland. I saw something today that said that the Scottish whiskey is making a big comeback because of millennials. I don't know. Nobody can figure this millennial stuff out, right? So millennials, according to Mike Spears Toyota, are buying big Sequoias. And then you got the EV Tesla crowd that just freaking thinks that millennials are buying all these things up like crazy. What kills me about Tesla is and I guess what frustrates me about it is they don't make much money, right? Not much money. Well, they don't make much money, but volume. They don't make a lot of volume. I don't know why it is filtering your messages, Jimmy. Oh, you keep saying shit. Oh, I said it. I went through and I put some banned words on the a background of the settings. So you can't say the C word and you can't say F words, because what I've learned is anytime I do something with GM CEO Mary Barra, those two words come out in comments like crazy. And I don't allow that on my channel. Sorry. So I may change the F word back because I don't know. But the C word, nah, I'm not playing that game. All right. Yeah, so it's an interesting whiskey. I'm not sure I've enjoyed it, but it's tasty. It's definitely an interesting whiskey. So, anyways, we're talking about trucks. I'm sorry, I got a little confused today. I've been busy as heck. I'm going to Denver Auto Show in 2 weeks. I'm going to Louisiana in 2 more weeks. After that, the Louisiana story is gonna be kick ass. I cannot tell you why I'm going to Louisiana. I can tell you that I was talking to Toyota today, and they're going to give me to drive a Tundra. The Tundra they announced at State Fair, the SX, with the trim level it was. Oh, SX. Brandon knows. I'm gonna have that for 4 days. I think it's SX because they had a Southwest edition, whatever it was. Anyways, I'll be in Louisiana driving that around, and I cannot tell you what the other story is, but I will be there. This makes kids nicer and easier to deal with. Yes, yes, it does. Yeah, the SX. I'm the first one who's gonna have that. I don't care, Jimmy. I just was trying to figure out why your comments kept coming up as needed to approve them. It's because I cuss too. So I'm really curious. They were like, he's all like, so if we give you this, do you think it'd be another store opportunity? I'm like, well, yeah, I'd do a damn video on that. Absolutely, do a story on it. Oh yeah. So I'm doing Louisiana for that. But I've been busy. I've been trying to buy rims for Swede so I can put the snow tires on because of the blizzard. We have lots of snow, and unfortunately, if I don't get them on soon, the snow's going to melt. We're not going to have any snow, so I can do this my story and my video. So I'm really working hard on that. And what else is going on? Oh, I'm going to Texas in May. So lots of stuff going on. Lots of cool stuff I think going on. Yeah, and the Tesla pickup kind of threw me for a loop, but there's not much going on beyond that, behind the scenes. It's like there was the Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra 3.0 liter Duramax diesel numbers got unveiled. And I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head, horsepower and torque, but they were really close to the Ram numbers and really close to Ford numbers. And my friend and I were like getting into an argument about this. I'm thinking about doing a video on it called Too Little Too Late, because I feel like by the time the Silverado and GMC Sierra diesels come to marketplace, it's too little too late. And so I just feel like it was past. Like Ram sold a bunch, and then everybody else is not selling much. Ford Power Strokes sales are going down. Like Ford's not going to tell me how many Power Strokes they're going to sell in a 3.0 liter diesel. They're not going to say that because they don't say anything on that stuff at all. But if you Google it on cars.com and like places like that, and you figure out, new Power Stroke diesel, there's a ton of half-ton diesels sitting on dealer lots. And journalist-wise, we don't hear anything about that from Ford. And if Ford's not touting that at all, it tells us that that's not really selling that well. So you wonder how well the Silverado and Sierra would sell. I don't know. But, they're just horsepower and torque. There's no fuel economy numbers. And so it's not very interesting to me. It's always like, you always want to jump the gun on that stuff, and then you make 10 videos off of it just because one little number. And then, well, yeah, the 3.0 EcoDiesel is not out yet. No. EcoDiesel is out in the summer. The Duramax is supposed to be, they just announced the numbers on it. So they just put the numbers out, talking that in a month or so, I guess. I don't know. SX is like the sporty work truck package. Cool concept. I was in Texas, I thought. Was I in Texas for State Fair? No. Yes. I don't know. I didn't do much with that. How about a video of your little Nissan in the snow? No. That thing wouldn't go very far. It may. I don't know if it's gonna start. I could try to start it. The hard body. Yeah. Well, did you see my mud video with the wagon with the VW Golf all-track wagon? That was a lot of fun. Almost got that thing stuck. That was close. I haven't seen anything about the SX. Might be a West Coast thing. Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know. I don't remember. I had to look back on my story to remember what the deal was. But they announced it at the State Fair last year. But the State Fair had Ram had something there, and everybody did something, so it just got lost in noise. My favorite work truck appearance pack is the 2019 Silverado HD Alaska Edition. Do you know how many times I asked them about doing a plow truck story with the Alaskan? Like a dozen. Could never make it work. I thought it'd be awesome. Go up to UP, up in the Upper Peninsula, up in Michigan, and do a total plowing story. I think it's the maintenance needed on half-ton diesel for regular gas that kills cells. So we're discussing this too. So I didn't know this, but in 2014, when the Ram EcoDiesel came out, the oil changes were between like $140 to $280 oil changes. And the reason for that was the filter that FCA had for that engine was $60, and then you needed another like $50 of oil, and then the labor on top of that. And Fram, I have the screenshot of it. I have this whole video idea ready to go. Fram put a comment on a social media that said, "Look, this is the reason filter costs so much is because FCA went ahead and they patented the filter, and so you couldn't make a copy of that filter at lower price. You had to make it so much different than the patent that they want to infringe on patent law. And so it took Fram and Wix a long time to make a new filter. There's a new filter out that costs about $30, and then you with the oil, you're a lot more reasonable oil change. But yeah, there's some conversation about that. I have a friend who's a big diesel fan. He sends me everything about it, and it's like, okay, all right, settle down. I read that Duramax maybe was going to be 28 highway, but it's supposed to be best in class, right? That's what Mark Royce said. 28 highway is not best in class. Cost to, yeah, they are, and you can't find the diesel like the Fords I looked at. They're not lower trims. They're all higher trim Ford diesels. Well, that's a lot of money when you're doing higher trim plus diesel upcharge. I just don't see the smaller diesels doing much. Dodge's first attempt in it. No, their attempt did. Don't mistake that at all. When I talked to them, one out of every 5 Ram trucks they were selling was EcoDiesel. But I think they met pent-up demand, and then the demand went away, right? So I think they met pent-up demand and went away. Because think about this. Flip this around your head. And again, it's on my video. I just need to put it out. Is that Ram almost caught Chevy last year in sales, like fourth quarter. They've been growing that much, 40%, whatever it is. And that's without the EcoDiesel. Because they haven't EcoDiesel in that model year, I don't think it was. So they haven't had the EcoDiesel, and they cut Chevy by basically past them in that fourth quarter. Their sales were up 40%. So that tells me that Ram doesn't need it. And it tells me that pent-up demand had been met. And so now that pent-up demand's met, do you think these are going to take off? Because so it was 14 they offered the EcoDiesel, 14, 15, I think 16, 17 they pulled it off a little bit, 18 they offered it, 19 they killed it because of whatever their reasoning is. I think that's how that went, something like that. It had gone on and gone off, gone on and gone off. And so what I think is interesting is it's like if that had happened, then what happens when the Chevy comes out with a Silverado diesel? Because Chevy's done it before. They've had heavy-duty half tons. They've had diesel half tons before, and they haven't sold. And so not going to do it again? I don't know. It doesn't seem right. It just seems I'm really concerned that it won't sell. Alaskan package looks awesome. They should have marketed it, but they really screwed that up. I don't know why I didn't do any more with that. I really was upset about that. Plus markup on diesel engines, yeah. So to Paradise and the UP, eh? Yeah. The Upers. That's a kid in Michigan. We listen to the Upers all the time. Half-ton truck owners don't want to deal with the DEF either. No, they do not. And so with more states, well, with some states cracking down on that, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens with what do they call it? Detuning it, dropping everything off of it. Ford messed up by making a diesel available in XL and XLT. I agree. I think I think entry level diesel makes sense. I think that's what Ram did better. Hey David, is that Tesla unibody frame? Yeah, it would make sense. Because the thing is, have you ever had an RV or a RC car? That's what I go back to all the time. Go buy an RC car at Walmart and then put a bunch of rocks in the bed and see how long that battery lasts. It's exactly what a truck would do. You're adding weight to a battery-powered vehicle, which means the range is going to diminish. So you need to take the weight out by making a unibody and make it as light as you can. That way you can keep the range up even if you add more payload. That's my viewpoint. I think an El Camino type EV truck makes some sense because you're not expecting to tow and haul that much, and you don't going to use the bed that much. And so if you're doing that aspect of it, fine. But you're going to build a truck that's like a truck in all terms and still electric powered. I don't buy that. And this last blizzard we just had really proved to me I don't want an electric truck in this blizzard. You kidding me? A blizzard electric truck? What a terrible idea. What if you get stranded somewhere? You can't just, add more gas. You got to put in a generator and let it charge and let it charge up. It's just a ridiculous idea. I'm sorry. I like EVs and small cars, battery electric EVs, small cars, things with a certain route, buses, trains, light rail, fine. But when you start talking about a truck, and the majority of consumers that own trucks live in rural areas and they use them for a variety of tasks, not A to B, A to B. They use them all day. The last thing I want to do is have something I worry about charging up. Yeah, here's that SX Tundra. Okay. That's David. Hey, Tori. The 3.0 Duramax isn't a 1500 No, I'm not saying it is. I'm saying they've tried other stuff in the past. That's, I guess, you're right. My point was, they've done other stuff in the past, and so it seems like that would be, it's a little bit too late. It's just the timing's so weird over at Chevy. It just haven't seemed like they nailed that one down. Chevy's gonna mess up the same way Ford did. Duramax not be available in WT or custom. Yeah. Entry level work truck diesel. That's what they should have pushed up for sure. Yeah, I don't. That makes sense. Entry level diesel makes sense to me. Entry level work truck diesel makes sense to me. But a fully loaded uh, high country with a diesel, that's a lot. Hmm. You play with nitro race car? No, I don't have nitro. I'm telling you, battery. I have kids, and so we do some RC cars once in a while. I need to go buy a new one. We just wrecked our truck like 2 years ago, and my kids are like 7 and 9. They'd be totally into RC cars. If you want to do the rocket outside, like the little rocket you build, then yeah. I think that would be sold. Yeah, Baxterum has a feeling on that Tesla thing. If you design that, and this guy designed, he's a fan, he designed it. He just tells me he's not a truck guy, and truck guys aren't going to buy that. And so, who's going to buy it if truck guys aren't going to buy it? Should stroke my goatee. Ram used to offer the EcoDecent tradesman trim. I believe that sold well. Yes, that's where the market is. I think that makes a lot of sense. Electric courier truck, yeah, Gene, I'd go with that. Electric courier truck, because that'd be a great fleet option, right? Because fleet, you're going to drive a certain distance all the time. I could see a fleet option with that. But the cost benefit of a electric vehicle, when you look at charging and you look at versus gas, it's not that big of a difference. I think I've done the math a few times. I think it's $1,500 a year. That's what it is. $1,500 a year between the average person who plugs an electric car versus the average person who buys gasoline. It's $1,500. And so when you look at that and you figure the electric vehicle costs more in registration fees, costs more in taxes, costs more to buy, I just don't think the ROI there. I think the ROI that I've done math on is between 10 to 15 years an electric truck breaking even. That's a lot. If you have 300 miles of range, why not just charge at home overnight? No need to find a charging station unless driving across the country. Yeah, it just depends like what you're doing with that range. Like, I think the thing is, Last Star Foster, it's a good question. I think the thing that gets people confused is they think 300 miles of range, like you're driving 300 miles, that's all you're doing. But like with my brother and I, we were out hunting at the Silverado. There's a Silverado Trail Boss video on the channel. We're out hunting. We drove 300 miles a day, but we spent 10 hours in a truck. You know what I mean? We're sitting there watching and sitting there hanging out and running the heater and running the stuff, idling the truck to keep warm because it's cold. And we didn't put the miles on. It was the time. I think that's the little difference is a lot of these ranchers go out and they'll go out and leave the truck running while they check the cattle to keep the warmth up because it's really cold mornings. And the same thing with farmers do the same thing. You don't turn it off. And that's why, a lot of times you see diesels that will just sit there and run to keep the heater going, to keep things warmed up. And I think with electric, you're always running power that way. You're always running power. Later, Jimmy. You're always running power. And I think that's, I don't think it's again, I don't think it's the miles. I think what's interesting is if you look at the work trucks, and especially the work trucks, is you'll see that they have time on engine. And that's how much time the engine's been running. And that's the first screen that pops up on the work truck screen. It's not about the miles. It's about how much time's on the engine running. And I think that's difference. I think with a car, you constantly are thinking A to B, A to B, A to B. With a truck, you're thinking, okay, hey, I'm going to drive here and there and here and there, and I'm going to idle it because I got to get my truck warm. Or and the EV truck makers make this really confusing, right? So they're like, hey, you could run your battery saw off the back of the battery of the truck. It could be a portable workstation. It could be this, that, and the other, but then you just diminish range even more. I mean, it's a weird thing, and so I don't think that makes a lot of sense for all customers. I think EV and El Camino truck, Ford Courier pickup, fine. A landscaper truck in town and a sunny climate. I'm a huge believer in EV trucks on a sunny climate. If you look at the United States and you do kind of the California, Texas, Arizona, Louisiana, Alabama kind of line, EVs make a lot of sense there. You get north of that line in Kansas, Missouri, Tennessee, Kentucky, Colorado, Utah, northern Utah, and I don't think EVs make a lot of sense at all because diminished range in the wintertime, you can't get around that. Batteries lose power in the winter faster than anything else. They just do. It's just physics. You have idle time, increased idle time. You have, even though the range, you're thinking A to B, shit, the blizzard hit, I couldn't drive that far. It didn't matter about miles. I was how much time it was taking me to get those miles. I can't do 50, 60 miles an hour in a blizzard. I can't do it. And I'm going to run the heat a lot more often in the northern climates, which is going to suck down the EV power. So there, my answer to that. But I mean, that's my point of view. I don't, that's my big concern. And so, and the other thing too is you have to have a house to be able to do it. And a lot of people that buy EVs, they tell me people buy EVs are in city areas. I lived in Denver for like 12 years. For an entire year, I didn't own a car. I didn't own a car at all because I just took the bus, took the train, rode my bike. I didn't need a car in the city. And so it's always confusing to me when we talk about EVs in cities like LA and stuff, clean up pollution, you just charge at home. Well, people live in apartment buildings. There's no charging station there. It's all, you don't charge at home. You got to find a place to charge at. And so I wouldn't own a car. If I lived in downtown LA, would not own a car. I lived in downtown Chicago, wouldn't own a car. I lived downtown New York City, wouldn't own a car. I didn't own a car in Denver. It's like I don't want to deal with that. Again, southern climate, a home, and A to B driving all day in EVs, all day. You get away from that equation, and I have some really big concerns. All right. I like the 1500 heavy duty at 610 V8 was awesome. It was, but it didn't ride that well. I was talking to an old PR person from Chevy about that, and he was concerned about Nissan Titan XT because they tried it and they couldn't get the ride quality down to a better level, and people didn't like it. And I think Nissan Titan's got the same problem. Hobby grade RC car, yeah. Look like money. They like that money they make in those high-end trucks. They do. They do. I'd be okay with electric shock if they had a quick battery swap out pack. Those of us who work blue collar jobs use battery powered drills so they could provide the same concept. It'd be great. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Tim, did you see the Transit as diesel from the International Rapid Ranger now? I wonder if that engine will make it into US Ranger now it's in the country. I did not. That's a very interesting point. The Transit video I did on this channel is blowing up as well. I think it's got like 8,000 or 9,000 views. What I didn't realize with the Transit, and I'm going to go off on this a little bit, and I saw Mark, hey Mark, Thunder Do 34 is here in the house, is that people tow with that. If you look at that video and look at the comments, one of the first comments was about 10,000 pounds of towing. And the reason for that is they want to use it as a work van. They want to tow a trailer, an enclosed trailer full of tools, and like put their crew inside the van and drive to a work site. That was a very interesting idea, and I had never heard that before, and I had never realized that people were doing that. So I was surprised. It makes a lot of sense to me, a lot of sense now that I thought about that. So it was interesting. HC diesel get a lot of idle hours. Yep. My work truck runs 11, 12 hours a day and usually only about 100 miles. Yeah. Yeah, Tori, you totally get what I'm saying. And if you take an EV and now you got to run it because you're running battery, you're running power, you're running heat or whatever to keep you warm, that's a big concern. Manufacturers are going to help with integrate a solar panel on the roof to help recharge the battery. They can do a lot, and it's going to be more and more money. And it's going to be like, why would I spend that much money? Garbage truck. Yeah, I can see that. And they're talking Tory. They're talking a lot about garbage trucks using EVs, electric battery powertrain garbage truck. I don't know. As long as you don't live in a very cold climate, battery train won't be bad. Again, smile state, go south. EV is fantastic. About 75% of our fleet is still have a few diesels hanging around. Oh, with natural gas? Yeah, makes sense. Can we just keep the good old gas and combustion engines? Yes, we should. Again, I'm going to play this out again. Play it out again. Hydrogen. I'm surprised people still allow the transit. Do they still make a 2,500, 3,500 version of it? I don't know. I don't know. Blah, 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 blah. I got the press release, and it was that and the F600, the new medium-duty F600. And I'm still unconvinced on this channel whether I want to do that kind of vehicle yet. I don't know. And so I thought, okay, I have a Transit and I have the F600, and I really had time to do one video. And I thought, well, let me do the Transit video, because I thought the Transit makes more sense. Something people can drive. I think it's got wider appeal. And so I did a Transit video, and it really blew up. And so now I'm wondering about doing the F600 video. But I was watching TFL Truck's 600 video. I didn't watch the video, but I'm watching the numbers. And it's not, people aren't clicking on that as much, but the Transit, people are clicking on quite a bit. Oh, if I lost a light. Hold on, folks. All right, I'm back. Sorry. Let's see. Brandon, make a Transit 350 for 2019. Yes. Yep. That's what the guy was saying. He said, I want 10,000 pounds of max towing. David said, I like the video of the 400 plant right on their own shipping dock. Yeah, good. Hey, thanks for watching that. I'm getting a lot of positive comments from that, and that thing blew up. If you heard earlier, David, we had a blizzard, and I put a link to a forum for that video because it wasn't doing that well, and it exploded. This channel is exploding right now. If you guys look at the numbers, you can't see it, but I think I can look at this. It is just, it's crazy. So, I gotta turn on my Wi-Fi. Let me turn my Wi-Fi on. So I put it in airplane mode, and yeah, holy cow. So, that's not show well. I can do it like this. This is real time, last 48 hours, 36,000 views. If I were to look back, and so let me look back. This is the last 7 days. I mean, look at that. Look at that growth. And that's because of that Tacoma video and because of that Tahara video. We had 74,564 views. It was up 37,227 views. Jesus Christ. That's ridiculous. Now, if they come up with a practical EV solution for garbage industry, I'd be all over it. Tori, I'm thinking hydrogen. Hydrogen, you get EV, but you also get a fuel source that you can just runs like diesel. You just put the fuel in, and you can keep going. You don't have to worry about the charging stuff. And so I think it's perfect. But I don't know. It's not quite here yet. It's going to be more in Europe and Japan, and then eventually come over here. They make, let's see, diesel they're getting for 2020 is the 1.5 liter 4-cylinder. Yeah, so this is the question: do you think Ford is missing the boat on that? Like, it's this whole marketplace now of people taking RVs. They're taking these Transit, making them RVs, putting a diesel in it, and they're towing and camping. So why wouldn't they put a bigger diesel in there? Why didn't they put that Power Stroke diesel, the 3.0 liter Power Stroke diesel, in that Transit? I don't know. It's interesting. I didn't know this existed, and so I've been really curious what's going on. Only 4 likes right now, though. Oh, hit the like on the video thing, guys. Like. I saw the hydrogen bus video. It seems really good for HD application. Yeah, and they have, so Tori, they have a bus, they have a semi, they have a car, and they have a Tundra. So they actually have, and there's a engineer who's working on implementing a hydrogen powertrain in every single vehicle they offer. So yeah, need to know the Power Stroke is crap. That's why it's not transiting. I don't, but if you have it sitting around, right, and it's not selling well in the F-150, then make it in a better application. I don't know. The interesting part there is you bring up is I'm working on a 2021 Nissan Frontier video, what to expect. Again, I have too many ideas in my head. Yes, I realize this. But the question I have is, do you think the 2021 Nissan Frontier, because you know it's coming, everybody's talking about it. Everybody's making statements. It's coming. It's obvious. Nobody's saying anything official yet. But do you think that the Nissan Frontier will get a Cummins diesel in it, like the Nissan Titan? Um, Gene says, like the idea of a hydrogen RV, the water from the exhaust could be diverted in tank for use at campsite. But yeah, exactly. Yeah, it absolutely would. Whiskey gives me too many ideas. Also, looking good, Tori. I know the 2021 Nissan Frontier will look like the same as the 2004 current one. No, I mean, they are really talking about new one. Two executives said the new one's coming. Executive just said 2 weeks ago that it's already done. The plant in Canton laid off some people, but they anticipate that growth is coming back to the plant because of the planned investment in a new 2021 or new Nissan Frontier. Well, so should it be 2021 or 2020? 19s are out now. 20s come out in August, September. I don't think they could unveil something in New York City, but then make it a 2020 maybe midway through the year. I don't think so. I think it'd be a 2021. How would it set up hydrogen fuel stations? Electric stations sure haven't come my way. What's cool about those hydrogen stations, Sean, is they can actually bring in. They have big tubes. It's in the semi truck video. I talk about this. They have these big tubes they fill with hydrogen. They put them on a flatbed and actually drive them in. They can stop, and as long as they build a compressor station, they can run the hydrogen in and hook right up. So it's the same idea as far as I'm gonna say it differently. Infrastructure is probably easier with hydrogen than it is electric. However, both of them are going to struggle with infrastructure growing, and until one takes off, now they're going to grow really fast. I'm a believer in commercial applications pushing the next generation of power source. And I'm a believer of semis, garbage trucks, delivery trucks go for one power source, like VHS beta kind of days. If they go for one power source, then that will really take off. I'm not a believer in multiple sources taking off because I don't think there's enough energy behind to get one going really well. I think you need one going, one clear winner. We all invest in it, and it explodes. I think that's what's got to happen. I'm not sure about a diesel in Frontier. For sales, need to get rid of the 15-year-old orange attached display. It is aging. But what's interesting with that, David, is it's still selling 2-to-1 over the sometimes 2-to-1, sometimes 3-to-1 over the Titan. Isn't that crazy? How many hydrogen fueling stations are in the United States? I don't know. I mean, it's a California thing, so hydrogen fueling stations in the U.S. There's not a much. As of January 25th, 2018, there are 39 publicly available hydrogen fuel stations. California is building, I don't know, like 200 more, though. 35 in California and 2 in South Carolina and 2 in the Northeast. Yeah. So not a lot. Not much. Toyota is currently building the world's largest one. Or they're kind of saying the world's largest one in the Port of Los Angeles, Port Long Beach. So yeah, I mean, it's a cool idea. It's a cool concept. I've been around them a lot. I think it's awesome. You get all the benefits of that stuff, but man, there's not enough charging stations. There's not enough fueling stations, and supply is really low, which means price is really high, and so price per gallon is stupid expensive. That's what it is. Later, good night, Brandon. Sleep tight, buddy. Later, buddy. You're early. Let's see. It's in 6:45 in San Francisco. So yeah, it's going to be a long time since it takes off. So what do I got? That's all I got tonight. I have a whole lot going on tonight. Sorry. I just had a really crazy day, doing a bunch of stuff and trying to get stuff done. Toda Building will come. Toda is partnering. They're doing what they can, but we need the U.S. government to get involved and help out some more. It's got to be public, private, and government involved. That's what it's going to be to make that happen. But we're probably still talking 5-10 years out. But the same thing with EVs. We're talking 5-10 years out anyways. I just think that when you look at what a truck is supposed to do, I don't think battery electric makes any sense. And Mike Squares and I have been on the same page, but engineers about that, and we've been on the same page. It's a really tricky thing to get a truck to tow 10,000 pounds and still have 300 miles of range. It just doesn't work. What else I was going to tell you guys? Oh, I wish I had the OBS software built up. Man, I'm telling you, I had this whole cool thing set up, and I will get that working. And next week I'll do the OBS thing, and we will have a cooler live stream. All right, I'm gonna go put the kids to bed, which means I should go to bed. Last sip of whiskey. It's good stuff. Look it up. Spyburn. It's in your local grocery store. I should get lots of credit for that. And yeah, hey Dan, just wrapping things up. Make sure you follow the channel. I'm telling you, things are blowing up. It's been really exciting lately. I'm really happy to see people enjoying the content. I'm really happy to see you guys, watching it, like what I'm putting out there. If you have story ideas, make sure you email me at tim@pickuptrucktalk.com. You guys know Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Pickup Truck Talk, doing a lot of funny stuff. A lot of funny memes over in Instagram. You should check that out. We have a really good time. I found some really redneck stuff. So, hey, check that out. Thanks for being here tonight. I'm going to go put the kids to bed. Good night, all. See you later.